In the fall of 1777, the landscape of the American Revolution underwent a dramatic transformation. The Revolution, once a nascent rebellion, was now poised at the brink of a pivotal turning point. The stage was set in Saratoga, a small but strategically important area in upstate New York. The British troops, led by General John Burgoyne, were advancing southward from Canada. Their objective was clear: isolate New England from the rest of the colonies by taking control of the Hudson River. Their journey, however, was fraught with challenges. Dense forests, harsh weather, and guerrilla tactics by colonial militia slowed their progress. Burgoyne's plan was audacious. He intended to join forces with other British units, creating a formidable offensive power. However, as the days turned into weeks, the expected reinforcements from Generals Howe and Clinton did not materialize due to communication mishaps and strategic blunders. American militia units, scattered across the colonies, began to unite in opposition. Led by Generals Philip Schuyler, Horatio Gates, and the increasingly renowned Benedict Arnold, they prepared to counter the British advance. The terrain around Saratoga was both rough and thickly wooded. For Burgoyne, navigating this unfamiliar land proved difficult. The rivers, ridges, and sprawling forests played into American hands, offering natural defenses and opportunities for ambush. Benedict Arnold emerged as a fiery and brilliant leader. His aggressive tactics kept the enemy off balance. Although Arnold had not yet committed treason, his hunger for glory and impetuous spirit were already apparent. The first significant battle at Freeman's Farm on September 19th saw heavy fighting. Despite being outnumbered, the Americans, under Arnold's command, inflicted substantial damage on Burgoyne's troops. For Burgoyne's forces, morale began to plummet. Shortages of supplies and increasing desertions took a toll on their effectiveness, whereas American spirits were bolstered by the arrival of reinforcements. Saratoga's geography provided the Americans with advantageous positions. They blocked key roads and river crossings, effectively choking British supply lines and trapping Burgoyne's troops. As October approached, the American forces fortified their positions. Earthworks and redoubts formed part of a well-prepared defense against any British assault, making it increasingly difficult for Burgoyne to maneuver. Attempts to break through American lines were futile. With each passing day, Burgoyne's desperation grew. He faced not only the threat of military defeat, but also the onset of the harsh North American winter without adequate supplies. Despite waiting for help, none arrived. This isolation highlighted the failures of British communication lines and internal coordination, contrasting sharply with the Americans' cohesive front. Some native tribes had allied with the British, but their numbers began to dwindle as the situation became perilous. They withdrew support, taking with them valuable knowledge of the land. In a bold move, Arnold led a charge that effectively turned the tide. Despite sustaining an injury, his leadership rallied American forces and pushed back the British lines. Both sides engaged in psychological tactics. Americans spread rumors intending to demoralize British troops, while the British attempted to intimidate with exaggerated threats of retribution. Camp followers, including women and children associated with the armies, faced uncertainty. Their plight often mirrored the fluctuating fortunes of Burgoyne's beleaguered soldiers. Boosted by additional troops, the American forces swelled in numbers. This bolstered presence not only strengthened their physical defense, but also elevated their morale. On October 7th, the Battle of Bemis Heights commenced. This decisive engagement saw American forces driving the British back into a defensive stance, showcasing their growing strength and determination. Although it had fallen to the British earlier in the campaign, control of Fort Ticonderoga was crucial. Without it, British lines of retreat and supply were severely compromised. The American victory at Saratoga caught the attention of France, pushing the European power to consider supporting the colonial cause more seriously, thereby altering the global context of the war. Following Saratoga, France formally allied with the United States. This turned the war into a global conflict, expanding the theater of war and straining British resources. On October 17th, Burgoyne signed the Convention of Saratoga, effectively surrendering his army to American forces. This surrender marked a strategic and symbolic victory for the American forces. The American victory became a rallying point, symbolizing hope and resilience in the American struggle for independence. The surrender shook British confidence in their ability to maintain control over the colonies, leading to shifts in military strategy and political discourse back in London. Despite Arnold's pivotal role, it was Horatio Gates who received much of the credit. His leadership and organization were recognized as key to the American victory. The victory at Saratoga informed future tactics, encouraging a more unified and coordinated approach in the subsequent battles. Benedict Arnold's contributions during the battle remain a significant, albeit conflicted, part of his legacy. The Battle of Saratoga represented a turning point in the American Revolution, symbolizing hope and resilience. Intelligence played a crucial role in the strategies at Saratoga. The use of espionage and information gathering by both sides contributed significantly to strategic decisions. As part of Burgoyne's broader operational plan was the ambitious yet punishing campaign through the wilderness, a reminder of the logistical challenges in the American theater. The Saratoga victory became part of the burgeoning American identity. It instilled pride and validated the sacrifices made, fostering a sense of unity among the colonies.